Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we are looking at an orange ink. So today we are looking at an orange ink. Here is our sample, and it is Diamine Enkindle. And I learned from ALEXA that it means to start a fire or to incite emotion. So that's interesting, considering all of the things that are going on in today's world. Here is our ink of the day. This light doesn't show it good, but this one does. And then it turns the light off on me, so then I have to end up turning the light up anyway. Stupid. Anyway, this is a shimmer ink, but like, I can't tell, except for right there I can see the shimmer. It's like barely even noticeable, but there is a little twinkling if you take the time to twist the paper back and forth. It's got some nice shading, though. Very nice. Okay, let's do the water resistance test to see if this has any water resistance. There we go. So the top coat is being washed away. Excuse me. Alright, there is a little bit of water resistance. However, it is such a light ink that I might not want to use this on the outside of an envelope. Okay, here is our two toilet paper chromatographies. We have this one is done with water, and this one is done with rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol. I can see that it's leaving behind some of that copper-looking shimmer. There's some yellow and some orange coming out. And then on here, we can see that orange, and then there's this yellow, maybe even like this pink color coming out. Very nice. Okay, let's do some paper review. Hello, the Goat Girl. How are you doing today? We're gonna find out. So, this is... I need to move this. That's better. Okay, so here we have the Pen and Gear envelope from Walmart.com. There's Amber, and there's Enkindle. So they are relatively close to each other. Anyway, that's the envelope. It's got a little bit of feathering, a little bit of shading, and no bleeding, no ghosting. So that's good. It would work good on the outside of an envelope, but it's such a light color if it were to get wet. Just walked our dog. Oh no, that's not cute. Okay, so here we have a new piece of paper that we are going to be reviewing. This is South Shore 25% cotton fiber paper. If we look very closely, we can see it's got a very specific texture to it. You can see it's got like these dots and then these lines. Can you see? So it's a very rough paper. This might be good for like making a certificate of some sort, or like very specific calligraphy practice. Anyway, here's the ink of the day. It looks really nice. No feathering, no bleeding, and no ghosting. Perfect. Rhodia dot pad, 80 GSM. Looks okay. It's got a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of spread, a little bit of shading, but minimal amount of bleeding and ghosting, so that's nice. Here we have the JNB copper plate graph pad from johnneilbooks.com. Looks nice. The tiniest bit of shading. I don't see any shimmer. Might be a little tiny bit of shimmer in that E. But it's barely even worth noticing. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Barely any ghosting. Have you tried the South Shore paper? Uh-oh, now I'm thinking thoughts about it. Who did I get that from? Did I write it on there? Damn it, I didn't. So, it was probably from... It might have been from one of my pen friends. I'll have to go back and reread their letters. Alright, here we have Maromon, Nemosity, 80 GSM. A little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, and a little bit of bleeding and ghosting. It's getting warm out there already. It's 73. Ugh. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. A little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of wiggle, and a minimal amount of ghosting. Perfect. Mead 5-star notebook paper. Tiny bit of shading, lots of feathering, a little bit of micro bleeding, a little bit of ghosting, excuse me. Here we have the Pen and Gear heavyweight notebook paper from Walmart.com. It's got a little bit of feathering, a little bit of spread, and bled through the page. Oxford 5-subject notebook paper, circa 23. Nice shading, no feathering, no bleeding, but a little bit of ghosting. CVS caliber filler paper from CVS Pharmacy. Beautiful. No feathering, pretty sharp, no bleeding, no ghosting. Excellent. So, what's the difference between spread and feathering? Give me 2 seconds. I will demonstrate spread. And feathering. I just got this paper in yesterday, and it is the perfect example. So this is the Pen and Gear heavyweight notebook paper from Walmart.com. Just gonna tear that out. Put that over there. I don't know if you can tell, but the lines that I put down, they're spreading out a little bit on this paper. This is manuscript paper. It's basically wood pulp paper. And so this is I want you to look real close, because you'll be able to see once I put the line down. So if you leave it, if you leave the pen down too much, it will spread into the page. And this one, if you let's see, what is another one that spread the feathers really bad? Do I have some? There is a good example. Oh, okay. So this is construction paper. This is also spread. You saw where I put it down, and if we would just leave it there, it will like spread into the paper. Sometimes, if you write with, say, a flex nib, you will have did you see it spread? So it's spreading into the page, and like you see these little tiny bits coming off of it? Those are little feathers, and sometimes a paper will be very pulpy. And you can see it right there on Blue Nose Bear. You can see those little black spots. That's where it's called seepage. So it's like seeping through the page, those in particular fibers in that page. Not necessarily feathering, but lots of spread, maybe even a little bit of feathering and bleeding and ghosting. So whatever the contents of the ink are seeping into the page. Sometimes the ink just sits on top of the page and dries, which is optimal, and sometimes the paper is so pulpy or it's not coated. Like this stuff, this is made for kids. This is kids calligraphy, manuscript tablet. It's like wood paper, made for kids. And this stuff spreads, but it doesn't feather. So that's good. And others will have little tiny bits of ink that spread, that come out of the line like that. And they'll look just like feathers of a chicken coming from inside of the swell. So this one had some spread but no feathering, and it didn't bleed through the page, which is optimal for the journal envelope. Great, fantastic. The Hobonichi doesn't bleed because it's like a coated paper. So it's got some sort of, I don't know what they call it, some sort of barrier between the actual pulp of the paper and the top layer to keep it on top. So that way when it dries slowly, it doesn't spread or feather into the page. So this is Tomoe River. They do a really good job of that. And there's no bleeding, no ghosting on Tomoe River. Pelican Hub Notepad. You can see that it's not spreading. Let's see. So you see how this one didn't spread, and you can see how this one looks thicker. So it absorbed into the page and made it a little bit wider, but it didn't feather out. So this one has a little bit of spread, but minimal feathering, and it didn't bleed through the page. So that's good. This Kikuya writing pad looks nice. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. If I can't see it through the page, there's no ghosting. Here we have Irreful 75 GSM. This one does a nice job because you can kind of see at the top of this K and the middle of that K and the bottom that it changes from light to dark back to light. That's called shading. You can see it right here too. Light to dark to light back to dark. Light to dark back to light to dark. Usually where you start and when you end, you'll get a swell of ink. You see the little shades going on. And then there's no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. So that's good. Okay. I'll show you more examples as I go through. Here we have Muji notebook paper. Can you see those little feathers that are coming out? It's kind of wiggly. It looks like wiggle sometimes. So it's feathering just a little bit. And there's no bleeding and no ghosting. That's good. This deal-worthy notebook, 43 cents from Target, was pretty good too. Nice shading, no real feathering, and only a little bit of ghosting. So it's not popping through the page like this one. That one's bleeding through the page. This one has a really good track record so far. I haven't had too many bleed throughs. Fur and Fig bled through a little bit. This, whatever that one was, what was that? Noir Inspiration, that's a Diamine ink. This Monteverde ink bled through. Whatever that was. Insomnia bled through. So we can see where there's definite amounts of bleed through. Or like this might not be bleed through, but it's heavy ghosting. Or it's got like just microscopical amount of bleeding. Alright, here we have some of the best paper on the market. This is Archer and Olive 160G. Why is my face so big? Sorry, I was just like, wait a minute. Why is my face so big? There, that's better. I don't need to see all of me. Okay, good. Alright, here we have the Archer and Olive 160 GSM. Hi JP, how are ya? Long time no see. How you been? How you been? Beautiful. This has lots of shading. And sometimes I tilt the book from like this side to this side so we can see if there's any shimmer. And there is just a teeny weeny bit of shimmer in here. And we can see the nice shading going on. This goes from light to dark. Little bit of light there, little bit of light right there and there, and even right there. And there. So we can definitely see the light shading going on. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent paper. $45 for a book. It better not have bleeding and ghosting. Leuchtturm 1917 120 GSM notebook paper. This one doesn't have as intense a shading, but you can definitely see it's got just a little bit of shading there, and there, and there, and maybe even just a little bit right there. And the lines look crisp, so there's no feathering, and there's no bleeding, and no ghosting. I can't even tell where the word was, so that's good. That's most excellent. M. Choi 120 GSM notebook paper. Hello, Emo Killa. How are you doing today? There looks to be brought out from the paper itself. I don't know what that means. But one of the things that people often notice is if there's any shimmer in it at all. Let me see, do we have any shimmer? So this green lady has shimmer, but as we see, if we take it, so this is about from my eye level, right? Can you see any shimmer on that green lady? You're seeing about as far as I'm seeing it, so I don't really see it unless people like tell me what their currently inked pen is. I'm not going to get this close just to see the shimmer. Same thing here. Like, I'm going to zoom this into 5x. This is 5 times. Oh, I saw one little tiny light flicker. But that's it. Maybe just a teeny weeny bit of shimmer. So, I don't know. Like, is it worth it to even put shimmer in it at this point? Like, if I can't see it, why bother? Anyway, this is M. Choi 120 GSM notebook paper. The shading is really nice. Nice, gentle shading. And no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent paper. And it's about half the price of the Leuchtturm, and about a quarter of the price of the Archer and Olive. So, highly recommend. This is Anecdote notebook paper. Exploring Inky Adventures. No lie, it's a bit overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, like, the best, if you're looking for, like, comparison, the best website right now that I can think of is either inkswatch.com, or you can go to Mountain of Ink. You can go to Mountain of Ink, and they do comparisons with different colors and stuff. But, like, I think that, with all due respect, I do a much better job at comparing all of the comparable inks. And, like, Adam, an ink guy, he does comparisons too, not too many, but just enough to, like, give you an idea. Nice, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. And, like, my main thing is, like, if you're gonna create a notebook, you have to try it with some ink before you just put it out into the world. Some of these people, we're gonna find out right now, they just put out paper for pencil or for ballpoint pen. So, we're going to see that in just a second. Here we have the Jot Journal. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is probably some of the best bang for your buck. This is like the only one that feathered. You can definitely see, open that one feathered. But like for $1.25 and minimal amount of bleeding and ghosting, that's pretty good, I gotta say. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent for the price. Second would probably be that one from the Target. Here we have Wexford from Walgreens Pharmacy. See, this one has a little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering. It's got a little bit of wiggle. See how all of these have just a little bit of wiggle? Oh, that one's totally feathering into the page. That one did good. Pretty good. Not too bad. Another feathery. Feather like a chicken. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of shading. No bleeding. Minimal amount of ghosting. You can see right there. It's just trying to come through a little bit. Not too bad, though. This one, on the other hand, I think this book was made for ballpoint pens. This is Salala notebook. And you can tell that everything is spreading into the page. Look at all of the spread. You can tell where I stopped on each of these letters because it's like thick. And there's lots of shading going on, even a little bit of shimmer. But then we turn the page and dun, 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 everything bleeds through the page. So these people don't even care about fountain pens. But I want to put it in here because I want to show you that this, there are papers that do not do good with fountain pen ink. It's always a treat when I find the one that doesn't bleed through the page. Here we have Midori. This is some of the best fountain pen friendly paper. We can see a little bit of shimmer in there. We can see that shading. Beautiful shading. Minimal amount of feathering and only a little bit of ghosting. It's perfect. And I got this book at a place called Mido for like $5. I don't know how much they are now, but they are definitely well worth it. Can I have some? No? Okay. So here we have one. This is from Daiso, Japan. It is the premium notebook. And they range from $1.75 to $2.50. This is an A6 5mm grid from Daiso, Japan. And this was from Arc Boy. And you can see it doesn't do too bad. It's got a little bit of feathering, a little bit of spread, a little bit of shading, and only a minimal amount of bleeding and ghosting. So, if we take a look at this back page over here, there's the ones that were naughty last time, but everything else just a little bit of ghosting. Perfect. Alright, here we have 68 GSM Tumblewave River. This is a real Tumblewave River notebook. If anybody has any of the new Tumblewave River notebooks that look like this and have the mountain top on it, it's a new book. If you look on the back of it, and it has like the PP, paper, and this on the back. If you could tell me if yours says Sanzen anywhere on here, I would be ever so grateful, because I don't know how to tell the Sanzen from the original Tumblewave River paper, because there's no circa. And I don't know how to tell, and I don't read whatever this language is. I think that it says this project uses Tumblewave River 68 GSM for stationery. Cream is 160. I don't know what that means. But this is some of the best paper on the market. It's got a little bit of shading, only a little bit of spread, and ooh, bleeding and ghosting. That's not cute. But very rarely does it bleed through the page. So, dun dun dun. Here we have another winner chicken dinner. This is Leuchtturm 80 GSM. Oh no. Sometimes we have a bleeder. This one feathered like a chicken. A little bit of shading. Bled through the page. So naughty all the time. It never ends. Bleeding. All of them just have regular ghosting. Except for this one and this one. So naughty. Alright. Let's do a comparison panel. If I can get my comparison panel to be cooperative. Don't fall on the floor. Every time I tell it not to fall on the floor, what do? You fall on the floor. Into the abyss. Okay. Now we're gonna do a comparison panel. So, where's my card? I know you're here somewhere. Oh no. What did I do with it? Oh no. Oh crap. Oh, there you are. Right where I needed you to be. So, I'm going to be comparing this ink with some yellow inks and some orange inks, and we're going to see what color this is most like. So that way, if you decide that you don't like this, if you don't like this in particular color, you can search online for other colors that might be closest to it. Okay, gotta put my finger gloves on because I have no sticky right now. It's so dry. It's 37%, which is very dry. Okay, so if I go too fast, you can hit the JL to go forward, backward. 10 seconds. You can use the arrow keys to go forward, backward. 5 seconds, and the comma period to go one frame at a time. Sometimes I have to hold down the period or the comma to get it to go forward and backwards faster. And I will call out the ones that I think most look like this ink. So this one is a little bit lighter than this one. Fuzzle freaked me out. We're doing the orange inks, and then we will do some yellow inks after this, and we will determine which ink it most looks like. So this one is kind of close to this one. It's a little bit, maybe not exactly, so grain of salt. Hi, oh shit. Apologies. So they're testing the alarms because we're going to be getting a new roommate pretty soon. So they're going around and testing all the technology to make sure it's working. I'm sorry if that scared anyone. It also scared the crap out of me. Alright, this Diatramentus Mahatma Gandhi looks kind of close. Monteverde Mango Mousse is kind of close. No. This one's a little bit more saturated. If anybody's curious about the inks that are over here, I've done an ink review of each of these. All you have to do is type in the brand and the name of the ink. Oh, my ear is ringing. Shit. That's loud. Sunset Twinkle is kind of close. It's got more shimmer in it, for sure. Also, today's pen, I am using the Jim Edwards Bloop pen, which is kind of close. It'll be a good match for this ink. Pannonia Dungo Wasp is a little bit more orange. Oh, Diamine Amber. Might be kind of close. Okay, so those are all of the orange inks. Let's do some yellow inks. Hi, Amanda. How are you? I'm here. I'm just trying to get orders done. All right. I wish you well doing orders. Okay, Sailor Manyo Yamabuki is kind of close. Stipula Saffron is kind of close. Troublemaker Mango is a little bit more darker. Golden Waddle's a little bit more yellower. Phoenix is a bit lighter. Helianthus is kind of close, except for it's got lots of shading. Can you see? Look at all that shading. Wow. Can I have some focus, please? Gosh. Look at all that shading. It's just crazy. Probably need to redo that sample. Mayora Giallo Tufo is kind of close. Just a little bit more darker. Mont Blanc Gold and Yellow is kind of close. I don't think they make that one anymore, though. Star Spattered Hills got more shimmer. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Neighbor's boyfriend was screaming at him in the hall. Freaked me out for a sec. Every time they start screaming at each other, I think we're going to World War. Alright, Diamine Sunshine Yellow is a little bit more yellow. And that's it. That's all we got. I usually prefer darker, but Sunset is so pretty. Yeah, it's a Noodler's ink though, so it tends to bleed on most pages. I also like Southwest Sunset, but I gotta mix it with something so that way I can either lighten something or darken something, because some of the yellows that I review are way too light, and they need a little bit of help. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you guys think about today's ink? Are you guys thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Do you have this ink? Let me know your thoughts about this ink in the comment section below. That's all I got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all, so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. I really like that. It reminds me of Robert Oster Peach. That might be a pink ink. Alright, that's all I got for today. Get out there and enjoy your life. Be with the people you love. Tell them you love them. And I love you to pieces. Have a great day. Okay, bye.